Hi, this is Michael with KeoFlex, and I'm going to show you how to create a quick web resume profile page. The first thing I do is I go to themeforest.net, and you can do some searches like resume. And there's a lot of options here. You just have to kind of pick the one that you like the best. I've picked one that I like for my personal profile page, and I'm just going to download it. The next step, if you don't have an advanced editing program like Dreamweaver, is to go to brackets.io. This is an Adobe product. Once you download Brackets and install it, it'll look something like this. Brackets should work for both Windows and Mac. So getting started, let's open a folder, and I'm going to make sure I'm in my downloads. Here you can see the theme I just downloaded, and I'm going to select the vCard file. The reason I'm going to select this is because that's where the main content is, specifically our index.html. Now if you're a skilled web developer, obviously you can make a lot of customizations, but if you just want to change the vCard so that it has your information on it, you can click on index.html. Don't get overwhelmed by all this code, because you're not going to change most of it. Most of what we're going to change here are the elements in black. So the title of our page, I'm going to change to Michael's site. Now if I scroll down a little bit, I could change the favorite icon, but I'm not going to do that right now. Here we have our navigation elements. We have our profile, work, resume, and blog. You'll also notice if we go into the theme itself, on this particular theme, we have a help file. This particular help file shows us all the aspects of the software and how to change it to fit our needs. Not all themes will have this, but some of the better ones will. So for now, I'm going to keep all the links the same. Now if you keep scrolling down, remember we're still looking for the areas in black. You have Hello, I am, and you have the default text, Rob Armstrong. So I'm going to change that to Michael. And maybe I'm not a designer in front of a developer. Maybe I'm an engineer. Then here we just erase this little blurb they have about themselves, and we write something about me. Come down here, and these are some more sections, including your name. Obviously, I'm not Rob Armstrong, so I'm going to change that to Michael. Might want to remove things like date of birth. Might want to remove things like email. The reason you don't want your email published directly on the site is because web bots will crawl your site, grab your email, and you'll start getting a lot of spam. We have a place in this particular template for emails later. You may or may not want your address published, and probably a good idea to put your phone number on there, but you can choose that yourself. If you have any other websites, this would be a good place to list it. So as we continue going down the list, we don't want to change things like go to next page or previous page unless you want to change the verbiage throughout the site. Continue down, we can see now that we're in the portfolio section, it gives me options for web, app icons, and iOS. So in this case, I can see that I have a data filter for web design. So maybe I'm not a web designer, and I say I build robotics. So I could change web design here to robot. And now anywhere down here where I see web design, I'm going to want to change that to robot. And then I'll have to link a picture to it. You'll notice in the theme there is an images folder. That images folder is referenced right here as well. So I have images, projects, 1.jpg. So if I go to images, projects, 1.jpg, I can see the image being displayed. So obviously I'm going to want to add my own images. You can also see that all these tags are separated by an li tag and closed with an li tag. This is how you know how to add more sections. So I can just copy this and just paste it as many times as I want. Obviously adding different pictures in these sections. You notice that one of these pictures is a 1-big and the other picture is just a 1. They did that because the 1-big is an overall picture in this particular example, and the 1 is a smaller template sized picture. This allows your website to load faster. So scrolling down, we'll leave the portfolio section and we'll go to the resume section. So here you can see their education, and again we have the LI tags. So inside of these LI tags we put a heading of Academy of Art University. You can change that, and then some information about your university there. You can obviously add more things to this, but this is just the basics. As we keep going, we have the skills section. This particular skills section is broken up into percentages. The percentages are edited not only here, but also in a JavaScript file. In my personal profile, I actually just removed this entire section because I didn't like the percentages. I didn't feel like I had a way of quantifying my percentage on knowledge on something to a full degree. So for instance, like Photoshop. Well, I know Photoshop very well, but am I going to say I'm 100% knowledgeable on Photoshop or 50% knowledgeable on Photoshop? So I didn't feel like it was a good representation of myself, so I just removed the section. What I did is I changed the service section to skills. And then in here, I went ahead and put the different skills I had. That way when I go to resume, they show up in nice big blocks. Alternately, you could also add a link to these where when you click them, they would bring up another page with more information. That's a little more advanced on the HTML side, but it is definitely possible. Moving forward a little further, work experience is set up in the same exact way as your universities are. Inside the LI tags, you just put as many as you want. The next section is the blog section. Now, I didn't use this in my website, but you can technically build a blog here. I think that would be somewhat difficult considering that it's not a user-friendly interface. So what I did with the blog section is I changed the name to Works, and I put a block here for my blog where they can click this and actually go to my blog, and then another block for YouTube, and then another block for some files that I was linking in. These are actually images that I created and put them on my website. So essentially what I did here is I changed blog to Works, and we'll have to do that at the top too under the primary links. So blog here changes to Works. And now I can see this section here. There's a standard post with images. These aren't separated by LI tags, they're separated by div tags, but it's a similar concept. So here's our title right here. Here's the image, the 1.jpg that is showing up to the left. This would be the one that I replaced to show my blog image or my YouTube image. And then I put some information about it right here. The only other thing I changed was I copied this ahref tag here, just like that, and I paste it right before my image. And then I come at the end of the image tag, and I do a /a. What that does is that makes the image a clickable link as well. You'll want to make sure that the location these are going to are the same thing. So mine ended up being KeoFlex, http://keoflex.blogger.com. The only other thing I changed here was I want to make a new target. So target equals, target is blank. That'll open up in a new window. That way they're not navigating away from your website. Now we'll scroll down just a little bit more to one more section, the contact page. Now this contact page has a brief description of who you are, where you are, and it has some name, phone number, again the email address, which I like to remove, and it does have a map here, which I actually removed the map too because I don't necessarily think people need to know where I live, so I close that. The next part is just the standard contact form here, which you don't have to change anything about this. But you will have to go over here to the PHP section and edit the contact page. You'll see here there's a section that says your name here, so I just type in Michael, and then your email address here, which is my email at email.com. And that's all you really have to do for this section. Now keep in mind every template is going to be different, but following the same guideline, editing the index.html file, potentially some contact.php files, you can step your way through it. If you need a little help or you want to do some advanced editing and you don't have any HTML or web-based knowledge, you can go to W3 Schools. This is a great website and a free website to learn some basic HTML. You don't have to be a web programming genius because all the primary graphics and design have been done for you. All you have to know is a few basic things to be able to edit your site and make it yours. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click subscribe right here in the middle of the screen and get great access to more videos.